All right, so extending on from what I said at the start of the show about those moments when history is coming towards you and it's been moving slowly and then it's very quick, and that's where we are right now with the Donald Trump trial. Linda, obviously, you're no fan of the president, but let's just acknowledge this moment, right? Whether it is the fitted up trial or somebody being held to account. Closing arguments, they'll take a couple of hours and then we're off to a jury room. If they're going to make a decision quickly one way or the other, by the time we wake up tomorrow, a president of the United States, an adjudication will have been made, potentially, in a court. If not, a day later. If not, a day later. But we are there right now. No more debating. No more, did you see the mugshot? Guilty, not guilty, hung jury this week. How do you feel about this moment in time?
Look, there's no doubt it is historically significant to see an American president and potentially a future American president on trial. And so just being hours away from a possible jury deliberation is, of course, a very significant moment. I think also, and I know you've discussed this at length, Paul, is just the possibility of a hung trial, what that means. You know, there really are so many outcomes that we could see where there's any division, it's a hung trial. You know, that delay over the next few months and what that means, for example, in the outcome of this year's presidential election in the United States. You know, this is just absolutely an incredibly historic event. I also think, and I will continue to call this out, that former President Trump's behaviour during the trial has been really remarkable. You know, his ability to continue to have commentary about the trial, continue to be admonished by the judge about this, you know, just some absolutely remarkable behaviour from Donald Trump as the defendant in the face of the criminal justice system. It's so fascinating to me to see how American electors will judge his behaviour with respect to the prospect of him potentially running again for the US presidency.
That's true, but James, and again, we could spend the rest of the show on this, the behaviour of the judge, where literally the jury was never sequestered, which means they can sit there and watch things in the court and then watch MSNBC at night to be told why the prosecution has made its case. The delay in closing arguments was pushed off for a few more days, meaning again they marinate in and amongst a pretty anti-Trump populace. I understand that after closing arguments they are off, they're locked in the hotel and they make their decisions from there. But just again, as a bloke who would like to see Trump as the next president, no doubt, I mean, this is no more maybes. This week we find out.
Well, this week we find out. But I mean, you know, what we've seen here over and over again is that these attempts to play gotcha with Trump, you know, and I'm sorry, Linda, you know, this whole, oh, he was badly behaved, he tweeted about the case. Who cares? Nobody cares, because the fact is this whole trial is a stitch up. It's been coordinated, the timing of it with these other trials, which have been falling apart through the White House. I'm sorry, it has happened that way. And, you know, the idea that people are going to hold it against him for, you know, signing a non-disclosure agreement and, oh, the bookkeeping wasn't done right. Hillary Clinton paid a fine for, you know, paying for the Steele dossier, which actually accused Trump of being a Russian agent. That's a lot more serious.
She destroyed evidence, no charge.
With a cloth?
Yeah.
Was it with a cloth, Paul? You know, and so this whole thing is a nonsense.
That is the most ridiculous false equivalence I've ever heard, honestly.
How?
Donald Trump has been accused of so many crimes.
No, but this is a trial that we're talking about right now.
He's legitimately being trialed in the United States in front of a legitimate case that has been found by a court to be able to be proceed. I don't think you can
Linda, sorry.
call the American criminal justice system into question here.
This case no one has ever been charged with this bookkeeping offense. Nobody has ever, you know, this is a misdemeanor that they spun together with a bunch of others and then used that to concoct this idea that it was a felony.